YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. The Bell 206 from FlyWing looks totally amazing. I can't wait to energize this thing and fly it. And we're gonna do it right now. But before we do it, just in case it blows up in a million pieces, get a load of the beauty. This thing is fantastic looking. I mean, it is second to none, probably the most beautiful helicopter we've ever had. It's not gonna be a belt-driven tail. It's gonna be a brushless motor on the tail. And I'm gonna fly this like a scale heli, but it will do some 3D performances. And by the way, they have the switches worked out, it looks like, which is kinda nice. We've seen some FlyWing products that have come out, and I think the switches have been more confusing in the past. This one looks very basic and simple to use. This helicopter will fly itself, okay? You basically tell it to start, you tell it to go up, and for that reason, I'm gonna tell you guys to watch this video, and if you think it's gonna blow up in your face, don't get it, okay? But I can't wait to see it. Now, first things first, I have a battery in my pocket. We're gonna put the tail boom facing us, and we're gonna take off with the sky, not the sun, okay?
Okay.
Back there, and so the camera crew is gonna go over by the house. Now, just for the sake of safety, I've got this thing on. This is a spring-loaded switch, up and down. There's dual power switches. We're in the stop, normal, home, normal. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna initiate by getting the battery plugged in. I put a voltage alarm in here, it was not included. Ours came with 2 of these 3,000 milliamp hour 4S packs, both of which had balance issues, but I'm hoping it's just because they sat in storage for a little bit too long, because they did balance out nicely. And as you can see, we're at 4.19, 4.19, 4.17, and then one more at cell 1, 4.18. So good enough for me. I am gonna leave that on, and I'm gonna have it set just in case there's a disagreement at 3.3. This should return to home with low voltage. There's a release switch right here, and then this comes out and forward. There's a pin here and a pin here, fiberglass, reinforced, glued, absolutely gorgeous plastic. There's no reason you couldn't FPV through that, but I'm just gonna basically plug this in. Make sure your GPS is plugged in. And also I'm gonna try to do this, but you can see you have to be this direction with your battery or it won't fit, okay? So they come with provided Velcro. And so just keep that in mind. Now my alarm is probably major overkill, and I am not putting a strap around this because it's in there good enough for what we're doing. But the truth is that it did come with a strap.
It was around those tools.
It was around the tools. So if you want, you can do it. Now, I'm not crazy about having to have my hands in the chop zone when you plug this in, but such is life. And at some point, you're gonna have to take a chance. If it starts, I'll be stopping it from spin. Camera crew's gonna get back. We're gonna let this thing initiate. There's a red light here. I'm gonna get the canopy on. I'm gonna pull this thing forward. I'd like to eventually switch that. Okay, so it's going through a learning process where it's connecting to the GPS, and the normal process goes a little something like this. Camera crew's gonna talk.
You're gonna go to your down to GPS.
Okay.
And then it takes a minute, and this is where we're gonna see if we can see any lights, because it should
Problem is you have opaque paint here, right, and the LED is down there.
It's on the top of that.
It's on the top of that, so you're not gonna be able to see very good. And by the way, we have a squished, there was like 4,000 squished,
oh my goodness, they're everywhere,
frogs on the driveway. Sorry, frog. Better luck next lifetime.
It does say it's gonna take a minute.
But when you're ready to arm, you're gonna stick down and out, okay?
Yes.
And it's gonna arm. Then it's gonna spool up. Once it's at speed, you're gonna use the stick to go up. I accidentally bumped this button. It doesn't really have any function, so don't worry. And the sliders also don't have any function that we know of. So we're gonna carry over here. We're gonna be in a safe spot. Beautiful clouds, beautiful sunset coming. But at the end of the day, we do, especially with helicopters like this, watch for safety, because it's not like a regular helicopter where we have collective and cyclic control. In this case, it's FlyWing control, okay?
Right.
So,
Up
nothing.
To 5 seconds, and then now you need to go down to run.
Okay, so now we go to run.
And then, okay, the tail motor started, and then
so it's spooling up. So now we just wait a second. We let it get up to speed. We're gonna see if it tips over and destroys itself. Sometimes you have a little bit of vibration halfway up the range. We've seen that on a lot of helis. So now at this point, it's ready to fly.
Okay.
So up it is.
Oh.
And as you can see, that's why we like FlyWing, guys. You don't need to be an expert, but as you can see, it's definitely a little bit softer on the sticks than we've seen from other FlyWing helicopters. I really don't want this thing to crash because it is absolutely fantastic looking, and I'm just gonna not really get too close to us until we have a chance to prove this helicopter. You feel the breeze? Holy cow, that thing moves a lot of air.
Yeah, it does.
And it looks absolutely fantastic, guys. I just wanna show you this. Look, the last time I took my eye off a FlyWing, it was a bad deal for the FlyWing. But I'm just gonna say right now, you don't need to know how to fly helicopters, but I'm gonna tell you this. If you know how to fly helicopters, you're gonna know how to jump. Because look at that, guys. That is absolutely phenomenal. Drone heli at its best, because if you're gonna make a drone heli that I'm gonna have a GPS machine flying, I want it to look fantastic like this. Camera crew, let's go over by the bowl right now. Do you feel the air current?
I do.
Holy cow, it feels so good. And we're just gonna go along here and we're just gonna do some news coverage of these dandelions. Hopefully at some point, very, very rock solid controls. It is admittedly dead calm. Let's see how quick it stabilizes. It stabilizes almost right away. And man, if you guys are into scale helis, this thing is the ticket, folks. I just wanna say, coordinating my turns just a little bit. I wanna initiate the turn. I wanna coordinate, make it look like a real one that's out filming O.J. Simpson in whatever shenanigans he's decided to get into today. Let's go ahead and go down by the water, or what are we gonna do?
We can go down by the water.
So guys, I am amazed by how stinking gorgeous this helicopter is, folks. Absolutely phenomenal. It is so beautiful. When you let go of the sticks, the thing flies itself. It's impeccable performance from FlyWing, but now it's impeccable and beautiful. It's not cheap, it's not hard. In fact, my canopy is popped. Do you see that?
It is?
Or is it in my head?
I think it's in your head.
I think
but
my
if you're-
canopy is popped.
Okay.
Let's just, I'm gonna just carefully, I wanna make sure I'm not gonna lose my canopy over the water. Yep, it's popped.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I wanna see if I can land in the short grass. I made one mow pass right here. Let's see if we can land it. I'm just, like, this is super easy, guys. I'm just being really timid because I love this helicopter. Down,
And then I think you're gonna have to go to stop.
stop. That's how you do it,
Okay.
okay? It's not hard. Let's go ahead and look at this. As soon as it stops, we're gonna re-clip. I think the fiberglass just vibrated. Now that we've stopped, you can see the green light, show the green light from the top. We're in GPS mode. We have it in full stop. And I just wanna show you, yes, I didn't get it clicked. Pull this forward, get it down, clip it back in. You see that? It's clipped now. Let's see if we can take off from grass, guys.
Okay.
Beautiful sunset, beautiful surroundings. And we're gonna take off right now, okay? So, are we in home?
We're in GPS, and you're still in GPS, so you should just be able to arm.
Arm,
And then go to run. Flip it
up
down
to
to run.
5 seconds,
No, just flip to run.
okay? Oh,
Yep. Because you're
now-
already.
so now it's gonna vibrate a little bit. Plan on it, guys. Look at this beautiful sunset.
I know,
Guys,
the clouds. It's gonna storm.
okay. So FlyWing, so far so good. Hasn't blown up in a million pieces, guys.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
always reluctant to review stuff that might be bad. But this thing is so bad, it's good. Holy cow.
Oh man.
By the way, that thing goes fast because that's the way it's designed. Holy cow. I wish the kids were watching this right now because it is absolutely phenomenal. And yes, I am being very timid with the controls because I want this thing to survive. Have you ever seen such a beautiful sight on Brian Phillips RC?
Oh. Well,
And by the way, I am flying a little bit quick there just because I can. The thing is fast. As soon as you let off of the sticks, okay, camera crew, let's walk over into the hayfield.
okay.
See, as soon as you let go of the sticks, the thing stops itself. It gets a little bit aggressive in my opinion. Remember, the altitude is perfectly held. So all you have to do is yaw the helicopter and the tail. Everything is just super smooth looking, okay? Now let's give you guys some shots over the water. I have no idea what type of battery life we have, but this thing has a low voltage return to home. And boy, oh boy, that thing is absolutely fantastic looking.
We're a long way from home though.
Nah, it's all right.
Okay.
It doesn't care. It's got GPS. It knows what's going on. Camera crew's not scared of it anymore. Oh man, that breeze feels nice, folks. Okay, going down by the pond. So folks, check this out. Oh, that is so beautiful. So gorgeous. Look at the wind. Oh my goodness, it's so awesome. Oh, sorry guys, culminating experience here. Look at this. By the way, ground effect is different on water. It takes more throttle to lift away from water. I heard this from a true real life helicopter pilot. By the way, you're standing in mud. So I'm gonna go past the mud. And then I just want to get some low shots. Let's get some low shots, camera crew. This is so dang gorgeous and beautiful. Oh my goodness. Who else is giving you footage like this than Brian Phillips RC with the camera crew at the camera, at the helm, going up and over? Oh my goodness, guys. Who cares about 3D when you've got this? It's absolutely flying itself, guys. I'm just giving it suggestions. Look through the windows. It is so sweet. I am so satisfied right now. Oh my goodness. You don't have to be an expert pilot. You just have to be a pilot willing to take a chance on a GPS drone, because the truth is, this thing is flying itself, okay? It's flying itself. I'm not an expert pilot, but I know how to do some things, and that's not one of them, because I can hover a heli with safe. I can hover a heli without, but I'm not doing it there and looking at that water. Let's go see if we can get the little humanoid out of the water. Jump in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Okay.
Making me so nervous.
Why? It's literally flying itself, folks. Look, I'm not even doing anything with the controller.
I know.
When this thing returns to home, it's gonna go up and over.
But it's not gonna float, right?
No, probably not. There's no foam on there.
Yeah.
So guys, if you
I'm
want
concerned about.
an amazing cinematography, that's not a word.
Now you said the wrong word and I don't know the right word.
All I've got to say is the thing looks like it's absolutely real. And it's beautiful.
It is really. It looks amazing.
Right overhead. We'll go short this time. Oh man, that feels so good. 92 degrees, sweating my balls off all day today. And look at this thing, just chilling for us. It's like, hey Brian, your private show. Right here in your face. And yes, I'm yelling again at the camera. Sorry folks, I just get really excited because here's the thing. When you get a helicopter that does what it's supposed to do and it doesn't blow up in a million pieces, then you end up with something like this. And I'm pushing the stick 50% of the way. I'm not even giving you full throttle. This thing is technically capable of 3D if you're into that sort of thing, or you could just go around filming OJ down the road. Whatever you want to do.
They're doing that these days.
OJ?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably because he's in jail again.
No, he's dead.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh, when did he die?
I don't know, like a couple months ago.
Oh, that's weird. Gosh, I'm like way up with the times.
You are.
Folks, if you ever wonder why people that are into RC don't know when O.J. Simpson died, all you have to do is look no further than all of the airplanes and helicopters that we're trying to keep track of. Okay, sorry, in front of the camera. We're gonna fly down by the trees, guys. Remember, when you have a helicopter that flies this dang solid, all you gotta do is fly to the backside of your dam. And when you fly to your backside of your dam, then you can really get a good look at what's going on. And if OJ's down here, OJ, where are you, OJ? That is absolutely phenomenal, folks. I am so totally satisfied flying over the damn runway right now. Just going right over. I'm not even gonna stop. I'm just gonna go. You good? I need to breathe anyway.
Yeah, it's
the sound is phenomenal, folks. Absolutely phenomenal. Guys, the only thing that make this better is some LEDs, maybe some rockets, maybe some guns.
I don't think the LAPD has rockets.
Listen, you haven't been to LA lately.
Well, the police department doesn't have them, do they?
Oh, and by the way, there ought to be, the thing that releases the hood, I think that should be a cutter. It should totally be a cutter, guys. I'm gonna have to make it a cutter, 3D print or something, right, camera crew?
Sure.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a line cutter that goes on the edges of helicopters. And what that does is it catches, like if you were to fly through a power line, it's gonna catch it, divert it, and then try desperately to avoid getting entrapped into the rotors, okay? Now, I gotta say, we've flown this thing around, shown what it looks like to fly a very scale, basic performance. And about the only thing I don't like about it is the correction when you let go is very aggressive, okay? Now, let's talk about this. I wanna see if it goes home, but let's go up and do a circle flight, okay? So let's go up here. There's gotta be a certain height, and then you go to circle. I clicked circle. I'm just gonna watch what happens. Now that guy is looking for OJ in 360 degrees, okay? Now, all I did was really, I flipped this switch. Now watch this, figure eight time, guys. This is what you get with a drone heli. You don't have to know how to do it. And I know some of you heli aficionados are gonna be so annoyed that this thing is so good. But the truth is, we need more people flying helis or they're gonna stop making them, guys. Helicopters are complicated and easy to break. Okay, coming down, going back to normal, okay? I'm just gonna bring it down with the stick down. I'm just gonna bring it in circles so it's more beautiful. And all I have to do, if I have any questions or concerns at any point, is just stop it. But if I do that, it will fall.
Yes.
In fact, that's one of the things they warn you about in the manual, okay? So just remember, don't try to crash. You'll be able to, I promise you. Because this thing, if you're a kid and you want a helicopter you can fly, and you know how to fly helicopters that you fly around the house that you got for Christmas for $20, a little coaxial helicopter, or maybe you've got an airplane that you fly around and you feel very comfortable with airplane controls, this is a great transition for you. But just remember, this is not like flying a Goblin. Not that I've flown a Goblin or have aspirations to fly a Goblin, but the truth is, it is gonna get you in the air quicker than anything else. And it's gonna be an amazing experience because you're not gonna have to worry about crashing immediately. It will crash itself if it's gonna crash, and that's why you do it on the Maiden. Now, I am gonna go home now.
Okay.
I pressed home. It's gonna go to altitude, and I'm just gonna be prepared to move back to GPS, not to 3D. If you move to 3D, oh, is it going down there?
I don't know.
I think it is. It's going back to the landing position.
Oh, because we landed
Yep.
over there.
Okay, so I'm gonna come back to GPS to cancel that. Then I'm gonna take control and I'll just fly it over here. Okay, sticks down, show the people. See this? Sticks down, bring it down to where I want. Just pulling down on the left stick. Remember, this is like a drone. It's not like flying a helicopter. Helicopter would be way harder than this. Camera crew, let's go up here. And I'm just gonna show you how easy this is to fly, okay? I'm just gonna land it. Remember, I'm not doing anything. I'm just using light stick pressure, bringing it down, touchdown, leave it where it is, stop, okay? That was probably the least scary helicopter experience we've ever had. The camera crew was letting me fly this far away from us on the first flight. That's very uncommon. Okay, we're gonna take back off. We're gonna show you what happens when we go to 3D at altitude, okay? So we're gonna go from stop to run.
We're sure we're gonna do that?
Sticks down and out, whoops. Let the
go to stop.
Stop, down and out, arm,
Now go
then
down.
run. Okay, I didn't do it long enough. Stop, down and out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? Then run, there it goes.
There it goes.
The tail rotor starts, the boom starts spinning, or the rotor starts spinning. We're gonna take back off. Once it gets to speed, remember, you have to wait for speed. If you give it input, it's gonna try to take off, and it's gonna fail to take off, and it's gonna be miserable for everybody. Okay, so now I'll stick up. Watch, it's gonna jump. It will jump, okay? See that? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly over here. This is gonna be very short-lived. Camera crew to the center, please. we're gonna go like right here. Camera crew to the center, please. Perfect. Now I'm gonna go to altitude. I'm not gonna do 3D mode. I'm still in GPS. I wanna see what happens when I press invert. Okay, nothing happened because I didn't actually tell it to do anything. I think you have to hit invert and then like back or something. I'm just gonna leave it in normal, okay? So there is a way to do that. Sometimes you have to go in and on FlyWing, you have to use the USB A to C and activate the advanced mode in the flight controller. I don't care, I don't wanna crash it, but I am gonna go to 3D mode for you guys. Okay, so I'm in GPS. Now 3D. You guys see this? Okay, and then back to GPS. That is regular flight mode, okay?
Okay.
So it's gonna basically let you fly it like a regular helicopter, okay? Now, why am I not flying it like a regular helicopter for you? Because I'm not a heli pilot. I pretend to be one on YouTube sometimes because I love helicopters. But the truth is, I'm not that good at it and I don't have any interest in crashing this helicopter for you today.
There's a cat.
I know, I gotta go scare the crap out of her so that she doesn't try to get in my landing zone. She is not scared enough of that.
She is not scared of you.
Okay, you're gonna stay where you are. Hey, Callie. So if you have a cat and your cat is not afraid of your helicopter, how do you deal with it? Well, first of all, you probably need to tell the cat to get out. Get out, Callie! She's gonna get more scared, and that's okay. But you hear the rotor speed is like really not bad. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll go land somewhere else. So nature walk might be in the cards. Down, when you're down, flip it to stop, okay? I'm just holding it down. There it is, guys. Amazing experience. If you guys are after a scale performance, you're gonna get that here. If you're after 3D performance, you could probably do that too. I have zero interest in crashing this helicopter for you today. But I'm telling you, when you put that down to 3D, it's a regular 3D helicopter. Now, I could probably take off, I could probably hover, and I could probably switch back to GPS. My suggestion is, if you're new to the hobby, it is gonna take you more than you think to get to that switch to go back to GPS.
Yep.
Or home.
Especially.
But at least you can flip it all the way up.
Under duress.
That's right. And you need to remember that I got sticks and thumbs. Some of you are gonna do pincer grip, and you might be a little quicker with your index finger here, okay? So depending on how you choose to hold your sticks, that's a good tip. 3.78 volts. I'm curious about low voltage return to home, so we're gonna go ahead and arm this again. Sticks down and out. Then we're gonna go to run, watch for the tail rotor. If it doesn't start, you didn't do it long enough. Okay, camera crew's gonna come over here. This is the new home position because it's been reset. I'm actually gonna go to GPS. Wait, there's home. I accidentally went, I had to figure out what position I was in and I didn't wanna end up in 3D.
Oh,
so I have to go back to stop, arm it, and then run, okay? The tail rotor doesn't start, that means you didn't do it long enough. Stop. One,
no, you have, are you in GPS?
2, 3.
Okay.
Okay, then run. I'm in GPS. Do I need to be home?
No, you need to be in GPS.
Okay, I'm in GPS. Stop. Oh, it just started. Dang it. Run. Can I do it this way? Yep, there it goes.
Okay.
So guys, there's a couple of different ways to arm this. The instruction manual technically says 2 different methods. It looks like you can do either of them. Okay, so remember, don't tell it to lift until it's up to speed. You'll know from hearing it, okay?
Yep.
Now I'm gonna take off. It will jump to altitude, but that does not mean you have to fly at that altitude or greater, just to be totally clear. You can fly lower if you like. And by the way, this breeze feels so good. I'm gonna have to go up a little bit. It is really hot, guys, right now. I am curious about the return to home for low voltage. And so for that reason, I kind of want to just see what's gonna happen if I loiter for a little bit. So I'm gonna go over here. And by the way, if you're curious about speed, I have barely moved the stick this whole time. You see that? It'll let you really tip it. When you let go, it gets extremely aggressive to stop, and it stops basically where you are, okay? So if you wanna make it fly like other helicopters you've flown, then you can move both sticks. As soon as you let go, it's gonna aggressively stop the helicopter. By the way, that barn swallow is trying to attack me, I think, because he thinks I'm trying to come eat its kids or something. By the way, look at this cloud over here. Man, that is gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this, guys. That is absolutely fantastic up there. There's gonna be some storms tonight. So guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we really appreciate your patronage. We appreciate you watching our videos. If you guys ever wanna see a real helicopter land, I'm gonna show you where our helipad's gonna be, because this is probably the most realistic helicopter we've ever flown. It's gonna be down here, but I've had some soul searching about the exact setup of the land. So if the helipad is over here, my only concern is if somebody flies out here to visit us, you land here, okay, everybody's happy. You leave your helicopter out overnight. Well, suppose you got wheels on the back. You gotta roll it all the way over the damn runway to where the hangar is, which is over here, okay? So now, if you're way over here and you land, why wouldn't you just land over here? You're in a freaking helicopter, right? So I am literally questioning my own design, but I just want you guys to know if the design changes, it's not because I'm trying to shortchange you. It's just because I don't know that I'm gonna need a helipad in 2 spots. But a helipad is so much cooler than a turn or a sweep and a concrete driveway. Let's be honest. So at the end of the day, there may end up being 2 helipads on this property, and one of which will be the approach in front of the damn gift shop. And so if you see both, you'll understand. Or maybe we'll paint some T's over there for, you know, planes that are landed that are too big to get in a 40-foot wide doorway, which is what I plan for that building. And I want to do hydraulic doors, in case you guys are wondering. If you have any input for me, if you've built hangars before, or you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments. We are seriously and very realistically doing these things. And if you think I'm a nut job, just wait longer. You'll see it all happen in live and in living color, okay? It's gonna happen here on Brian Phillips RC, because we don't just love RC aviation, we love aviation in real life, full scale. And we are gonna do what it takes to live our dreams, because at the end of the day, YOLO. Seriously, this helicopter goes forever. I cannot believe how long this thing is flying. And I can't believe how good it looks doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just like nervous about how long is it gonna go, and is it gonna go, like decide to go low voltage home right when I go get over there by the trees? Because I wanna do a nature walk.
It's getting really dark.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
So if I were to let the passengers out, okay, passengers, get out. Let's take back off. The passengers are out. Now it's just me, camera crew. So now let's go on just a short nature walk. And the thing about it is, if the nature walk takes us down the hill, so long as I don't get under the trees, I should be okay, right? Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Because if it goes return to home, it's gonna go straight up.
Yeah.
You can cancel that by going back to GPS, by the way.
I don't know if you can do that if it's in low voltage, though. I don't know if you can cancel it.
Okay, well, it's gonna go straight up no matter what. We've already seen the altitude by which it likes to go to, okay? So if it starts to get janky on me, look at this. We have this beautiful Christmas tree here. It's a nice scale Christmas tree. We're not gonna cut it. We're just gonna fly next to it and show the people the Christmas tree. And then we're gonna come down here. You may notice that the hay grass is cut. That's because yours truly cut it. Now it's baled up. Very cool. Flight performance is absolutely phenomenal. I cannot believe how much I love this helicopter, because it has got to be the culminating experience for me when it comes to helicopters. I so badly want to fly through that hole. Can I fly through the hole, please? Please, can I stick it in?
Your helicopter.
Huh?
Your helicopter.
Are you serious?
It's not gonna float.
What?
It doesn't float.
So if I go, are you gonna get mad?
It's your helicopter.
Yes! Guys, it's not even hard to do. I'm just afraid it's gonna go to low voltage. And if it goes to low voltage, it's gonna try to land. When it tries to land, it's gonna go home. When it goes home, it's gonna go to altitude quick. That is so beautiful, guys. Look at this. Absolutely fantastic. It's everything I wanted and even more. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how long this is flying too. Oh, there it goes. It's going home.
Okay.
Now I just need to be prepared that it's gonna go high enough to get over the house. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk around the house. Please don't hit the house.
Oh my goodness.
It's way over the top. Hurry.
You better go.
Oh, that is so funny. Okay, so the cat is over here rolling on its back. The camera crew is running, so she paused. And it's like 1,000,000 degrees out here.
There's like 1,000,000 mosquitoes.
So all I've got to say is, holy cow.
So it goes over the house. Good to know.
What a good experience, guys.
Jeez.
What a good experience. Look at this landing, okay? There's a frog. Okay? That is so stinking cool. You got to get one of these things. That was awesome, okay? Stop. Home. Normal. Normal. Wow, wow, wow. Everything I wanted except for the run.
Yeah.
See this?
They're little frogs. We have like 5,000 of them.
When I went to work this morning, there was like 50 of these every square foot.
Yeah.
Here, come here. You want to go in a helicopter?
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to go in a helicopter.
Come on.
They're all over the
dang
place.
it.
They're losing their tails. The kids found one the other day that still had a tail.
Okay.
Most expensive science lesson ever.
So, all I've got to say is, this is awesome. It's everything I wanted. It's everything I wanted and more, okay? If you guys want this good experience, you should check out the links for yourself in the video description below. Now, if there's problems, this is where you're gonna find them. So you wanna make sure when you're done with your maiden flight, go in and check all the linkages, make sure nothing's loose, make sure nothing sounds funny, and if it does, address it. That's what you do with helicopters. That was a long flight, I got to say. Way longer than I expected, way more beautiful, and way more perfect than I ever expected. So the next thing up on this is some lights, some camera action. I mean, it looks so realistic. About the only miss I can see on this helicopter is the complete absence of LEDs, because LEDs on this would be glorious.
Yeah.
Okay, FlyWing, good job. I'm gonna hold this. Camera crew, just in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
FlyWing, awesome job. Awesome helicopter. Get one. Links in the video description below. We got ours with two 3,000 milliamp hour batteries, and you can see right through the window. That didn't come with it. What are we at? 3.67. So we got power to spare, folks. This thing flew forever on.
Almost 30 minutes.
No way.
I mean, we took, well, okay, 25 plus.
That is really good. And by the way, the mark of a true flying beast, dead bugs. Yes, a double-edged sword from FlyWing. I thought I had it with the FlyWing 450. I didn't, guys. This thing is where it's at.
It's the best.
And all I've got to say is, everybody else that's watching, all the other brands need to be emulating this because it is awesome. And every airplane guy that I know that knows how to fly an airplane can fly this thing, okay? Now, you can take it into 3D mode and you can fly it like a 3D helicopter. If you want to tear out all that crap and fly it like a regular helicopter, be my guest. You can do that too. But just remember, you have an electronic speed control on the tail. It's not going to be a belt-driven system. So you're not going to get super high performance from.
This is buzzing.
Okay.
So I just need to move a stick. I don't want to just move the wrong
I'm going to
stick.
move something here.
Okay.
Okay, just to wake it up. So guys, everything you need comes in the box, unless you need a remote ID, and then you can add that with a battery separately, or you can plug it in one of the available channels and you can energize it that way. Also, if you fly to free it, you don't have to worry about it. I don't really care what you do, as long as you don't get caught and don't hurt people. I don't care. But remember, this hobby is under attack. We need more people doing it. That's the best way to get over FAA's idiocy, is to have more people flying helicopters just like this that look freaking fantastic. Because when you have freaking fantastic helicopters that fly good, that do everything you expect, it's an easy sell, even when they're expensive, okay? Now, if you're an aficionado and you don't think you want all the bells and whistles that this can do, just get it and take it out and put whatever gyro in and put whatever flight controller and put whatever receiver you want. I don't really care which one you put. I would put Spectrum. I know you guys think I'm not, but the thing is, you put something else, you're gonna love it anyway. The thing is absolutely fantastic, okay? But like I said, you're not running a servo for the tail boom, okay? The body itself might almost be worth putting a tail boom in and setting up a belt-driven system, because I love the way this looks. Absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, eat your heart out. Beautiful Bell 206. Buy from the links in the video description below. You will help to support Brian Phillips RC when you buy helicopters, planes, quads, VTOLs, leaf blowers, and other stuff that we review here on this channel. And we are so pleased and so proud of where we are right now because of your help, because of your patronage, and because of our love for the hobby. We know that you have it too, or you wouldn't be watching videos like this. The best way you can support us, if you don't want to spend money right now, is to just watch the whole video. The second best, smash the like button. When there's a recommendation, watch the video. These are the ways you can support Brian Phillips RC as a channel. If you want to support us financially, the number one way is buy awesome products like this. You don't have to buy this one if you don't have the money for this, you don't have the wherewithal for this, you don't have the space for this, fine. Definitely not sub 250, okay? If you don't want to buy this, we have millions of other things you can buy. Okay, maybe not millions, that's a slight exaggeration.
Thousands.
We have thousands, okay? Check out BrianPhillipsRC.com. The camera crew is feverishly updating the sailplane links as we speak, okay? So the sailplane's a perfect example. We have, what, like 30 on there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're watching a sailplane and you're like, hey, but what else is there? Check out BrianPhillipsRC.com, sort by type, brand, manufacturer, hobby shop, whatever it happens to be, whoever we worked with, you can go by brand or by type. This would be general aviation. This would be a heli, okay? So it's gonna be in two places. It's not gonna be a warbird, but if it was a Huey, it would be in the warbirds. And it would be a heli, okay? Might also be general aviation as well. So we sometimes put them into different areas. And all that does is it shows you the thumbnail for the playlist, which is gonna be the most recent video we did for a particular aircraft. That means there's an unbox build radio setup. There's also the flight. There's second thoughts. There's revisits. If you don't know how we do this yet, that's how we do this yet, okay? So if you wanna see how a helicopter performs, it's not just, you know, somebody crashing it and, ooh, well, I'm a victim. That's not what we do here. If I crash and it's my fault, I'm not a victim. You know, I did it, right? I've crashed a lot of stuff in my days, okay? But at the end of the day, if a helicopter commits hara-kiri, I'm gonna tell you that. And then maybe I'm a victim. But the truth is, we wanna prevent you from being a victim by showing you if it can do it or not. If this one can't do it, yours won't either, okay? If it's a 50-50 shot, this thing's expensive. But I'm gonna tell you this, I hope it's not, because this thing is awesome, and I want you to have it bad. You guys can tell when I love something, and I love this something, all right? Whoever's gonna build the 700 millimeter size next, get it to us ASAP. We gotta see it, okay? I want the 1 meter, I want the big ones. Guys, these things are so fantastic. I want the tail boom, I want it to be belt driven, I want it to be shaft driven, I want it to look absolutely realistic. I want LEDs, I want wiper blades, I want doors that work, all of it, guys. At the end of the day, we love helis, just like we love airplanes, but we also know how intimidating they can be. So we're gonna show you every step along the way to get this thing, to make this thing do what you just watched, okay? And even though you might think I'm an expert, I'm just a regular guy, okay? But I'm no victim, okay? If this thing crashed, I'd show it, but I'm still not a victim. We are super, super lucky to be in a situation, fortunate and hardworking. Because remember, what's luck, right? When preparation meets opportunity, folks. Okay? That's the God's honest truth. And anybody who's worked for a living knows exactly what I mean. This thing is good. Get one. Stay tuned. Unbox build radio setup. Is that going to be next, camera crew?
Yep, it'll come next.
It'll come next.
Following.
Part of this video, because it's a ready to fly heli. We usually do those as one big money shot. All right?
Yep.
So if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll do our best to get back to them. And just look at those blades. Beautiful. That's how humid it is. Touch the blade. Nope. The big blade. The big blade. You see it? It's wet.
Yeah, it is.
Condensation. It's not just sweat, guys. It's sweat on the heli. Can they see that? That is so gorgeous. Let's get another look, guys. What a beauty. Links in the video description below. All right, so much more from Brian Phillips RC. Stay tuned for the unbox. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We're gonna open this box right now. I'm super excited for this one. It's kind of killing me that I haven't done it already, but we're gonna be doing it right now. This is from FlyWing, and ironically enough, it looks like it's been opened, so that's always a little bit scary, but it's gonna be awesome. So here goes nothing, guys. I don't know if this box comes out of that box, but we're gonna just do it anyway. Oh yes, the Bell 206. This is gonna be so sweet. Guys, if you've never seen a FlyWing helicopter, okay? We've done a couple of FlyWings in the past, and they are basically drone helis in that they fly themselves, okay? You do not need to have the skills to fly a helicopter. If you get them as a ready to run or ready to fly, it's not like a normal stick because it basically flies like a drone. Stop, run, normal, 0 fly, meaning a circle, 8 fly, home, GPS, 3D, invert, and normal. Wow, it's all labeled. That's like the first time we've ever seen that. I'm already impressed. By the way, I would have been impressed just at Bell 206. In this case, we gotta hurry and get the batteries charged because we are trying to fly this tonight. It comes with all sorts of goodies. Okay, so here's the charger. This is what we've seen from FlyWing and similar FlyWing products. So we've got a little strap, AC cable, and this thing plugs into the charger. Pretty easy stuff. And this will, whoops, sorry. This will charge our batteries, but then it also comes with the USB-A to USB-C cable. It's a flat style. And then this Allen wrench set, which looks actually pretty nice. I'm not sure if we're gonna need it or not, but we'll find out here in a minute. I know you guys wanna see the money shot, but we're gonna just restrain ourselves because I'm kind of dying to see it too, because I gotta get the batteries going. 3,000 milliamp hour 4S, okay? So this has a standard balance end and a standard XT60, not an incredibly huge cable. Don't know what the C rating is from this. Just looking at it, it's a FlyWing brand and there is Velcro already applied. I typically don't like to apply Velcro. And this battery is upside down in here.
In there? Oh.
So I'm like having a heck of a time. So I'm gonna use this Velcro because I can feel Velcro. So I'm gonna stick down the kind of the sticky side, stick it and pull it out. That worked really nice. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk about charging, battery safety, LiPos. This isn't gonna be a product that you should get as a first time product, only for the simple fact that if something goes wrong, it's still a pretty big helicopter, okay, is my suggestion. However, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. With this product, okay, this is a balance lead. When you plug it in, it's gonna say, I don't know, oh.
58?
58? That's 57, yeah, so it goes like this, so 57%, okay. So it's charging. Now, I'm gonna just go ahead and put the XBC battery checker on here. Show you what this one looks like. Geez, it's real low. Wow. So we have one cell that's like out of balance. So that's means it's been sitting for a while. Okay, so we're turning on the charger. This thing may not initiate. I happen to have my XT60 adapters because we were doing a boat the other day that had XT60s on them. So I'm gonna plug this in, it immediately populates with the same thing. I'm gonna click, I'm gonna scroll this, probably go down to 3,000 because this is a 3,000 milliamp hour pack. So 3 amps, and we're gonna start, it's on 4S, and it is gonna go ahead and start because the nominal voltage gets us good, but we're hoping that that balances out. Now, if it doesn't balance out, full disclosure, I will tell you, okay? I'm not gonna kill off a product because of a battery, okay? I'll just get a different battery. Blades, very cool. Yellow tips and carbon fiber, as you can see here. Let's go ahead and open this up. I'm super excited for this. I am a huge sucker for scale helicopters. And to be honest with you, if more helicopters were scale, there'd be a lot more than what you see sitting right there. And I gotta say, we've done a lot of helicopters in our day, okay? This is painted gray, very beautiful, but carbon fiber blades. Cool. Very light, very strong. This is my moment to tell you, helicopters can be dangerous, but only as dangerous as you are bad a pilot, okay? The cool thing about this product is you don't really need to be a pilot to do it. Now, You don't have to be a pilot that flies tons of airplanes or helicopters in order to fly this, because it is gonna be more like a drone heli. I call them drone helis. What I mean is that it has actually got a flight controller that's gonna basically do all the stuff that you need to do. That being said, helicopters can be dangerous if you don't have them set up right. So you need to at least have some basics. That's why, that's why I don't recommend this plane to you as a beginner. But oh my goodness, I would have literally killed to have this as a kid, and I am a big kid. So fortunately I didn't have to kill to get this. Because holy cow, this is so gloriously awesome. Okay, so very, very, very excited to have my mutts on this thing. This is absolutely fantastic looking. And all I've got to say is any manufacturers that's not putting out helicopters like this, start doing it ASAP, and you will sell a lot more helicopters, because I am telling you, this is what people want right here. So you need to go no further than Brian Phillips RC to learn this, okay? This is not just me puffing smoke. All I'm gonna say is this. Pot and boom helicopters are where it's at for serious heli people, but for people that like to fly around and look like an airplane, that looks like a real plane, 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 that looks like a real plane. Look, feast your eyes. These are just probably 5% of the planes I have, okay? That means there's 95% more that you're not seeing in this room, okay? Yeah. The vast majority of the planes are scale replicas. Look at how gorgeous this is. Los Angeles Fire Department, that is look at the exhaust ports. Absolutely beautiful. All I've got to say is, if it flies half as good as it looks, I am gonna love this thing. Now, does that mean this thing is gonna be doing 3D? I don't know. All I know is there's a release here, and I think it's a release. And I think that, oh yes, that is so good. Beautiful, okay. Flight controller, cables, accessible, GPS unit, big servos, big linkages, strong, sturdy, robust. Everything looks fine. There is a receiver down here, and it's using, looks like some sort of like an S-Bus configuration to go to this flight controller. Not impressed with the way that looks, because all the cables are so tight and squished together. This is not a, is this a direct drive? Yeah, it's a direct drive, I think. That's so weird, because why is there a gear around it? Is that how they take off for the tail rotor? No, the tail rotor, this isn't direct drive. Look, there's a motor way back there. You see the motor way back there? See it at the back?
Oh yeah, back there.
So it's back there, and then it drives this big gear, okay? And then this is a brushless motor. Now, I'm just gonna be the first to admit, if you're not a heli person, you won't have any appreciation for this, because helicopters are a thing, okay? That has a brushless motor on it. It's unusually good. This does not have a brushless motor on it. This is the, what is this? The M4, not the M4 Max. That has a belt-driven tail, better. This is the Fusion 360, it has a belt-driven tail, okay? This is the Yuzhang, I forget the F280. It has a brushless motor. It is incredibly difficult for a brushless motor to keep up with the demands of a tail rotor, because the speed of change of pitch is much easier to do than changing the speed of the motor with a fixed pitch. If you don't know that, you don't need to know that with a FlyWing heli, because it's gonna do its thing, and it's gonna do it regardless of what you've got to bring to the table. That's why these helicopters are even worth talking about.
Hey, there is a bind plug in that foam. I don't think we're gonna need it. It was right down there in the bottom.
I see it.
Just in case.
Thank you for catching that. It's also got this little
doohickey.
Yeah, it's like a hangy thing.
Okay.
Okay, why do I like this helicopter? Because A, there's a low piece count. B, I pull it out and it's gonna work. And if it doesn't work, we're gonna show you not working, okay? Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, Brian Phillips RC is all about one big important thing, and that is spreading the love and joy of this hobby by showing you how to do unbox build radio setup. Because the thing is, there's a lot of people that are like, I would never buy that because I know I can't fly it. Here's the truth. FlyWing is gonna make it so you don't have to fly it. They're gonna fly it for you. Now, that is a trade-off. Some of you are not gonna like that. Because you don't have to fly it. It's not gonna fly like one of those helis over there. It's not gonna fly. This one, you can't basically take it out auto leveling. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing back there with the Navy version. There's so many amazing helicopters out right now, but if you wanna be able to go and fly it like a pot and boom, that's what it's called, right? Just like one of these. I used to call it wrong, stick and boom or something like that. It's the wrong thing. Oh. These are basically going to be a regular helicopter in a housing that looks amazingly scaled. That's what I've been clamoring for all these years. Okay, so let's get this thing assembled. There is a right way and a wrong way, okay? That is definitely not right, okay? That is definitely right. It's either that way or that way. And I'm not sure which way it goes because the thing is, truthfully, you basically can't get it wrong, right? I don't think you can.
I don't think you can either.
So let's look at the instructions. Quick start. This is a V3. Now, some of you may have seen some other people that have reviewed these helicopters that have had very bad outcomes. I am not trying to diminish anybody's bad outcomes, but my understanding, and we did talk to the manufacturer about this, we said, if the thing commits hara-kiri, we will share it, okay? And that sucks to be you, but we wanna work with companies that are gonna back up their product. And we understand that if it does, I'm gonna be heartbroken because I want this thing to do so well. And also, I was just noticing on this release, I really wish that was a line cutter, because there'd be a line cutter right there and it'd look really good on there.
Oh.
You know what a line cutter looks like?
I guess I don't know what it looks like, but I know.
Yes, you do. You just don't realize
I don't know that I know.
Is there a line cutter? Here's a line cutter. On this one, there's a line cutter, which, by the way, you can get this from the same company. Okay, well, not from FlyWing, but you can get it from RC Going.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to support Brian Phillips RC, just buy from the links. It's the best way you can support us monetarily, but we also have PayPal, Patreon, YouTube Super Thanks, and YouTube members. So real quick intro to that. Now, we have tools that will allow us to do this. This is gonna tell you right and wrong. Why don't you just point that out to the customer if they haven't already seen. I'm gonna grab.
Install as shown in figure until there is slight resistance when the blade folds.
Okay.
And I mean, the gray side is up, and I don't think
the painted side.
Yeah, the gray painted side, not the carbon fiber side.
Okay, very good. So we're gonna get, I think it's a 2mm, nope, 2.5. So 2.5 millimeters here, and there should be a nut that's gonna fall down. So I'm gonna push this up. So guys, if you want me to kind of revisit this theory, that's a nylock there, okay? So I'm gonna lay that down, push this up, slide it out. Doesn't matter which one's which, but you do need to get it face up the correct way. Put it down. Now we're gonna go through control surface tests and stuff like that before we start this, but to be honest with you, in terms of flying, once you start taking off a helicopter like this, you basically just have to have it put together right and it will do its thing, okay? Because if there's a problem with a helicopter, when you have this type of control system, my expectation is there's less that can be done about it. And that's part of the reason why I think some people get concerned about these, because they are like drone style helis, okay? Now, you would not be incorrect to be concerned about that, because the truth is, in my opinion, it is definitely a little bit more of a loose cannon. If something goes wrong, you give it space and you let it happen. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So be safe, demonstrate that it's gonna work, and then inspect parts, like these little components here that are on ball links. Make sure they're on, make sure they're on, make sure the servo linkages are on, make sure all the things are sliding free. You can actually move this, you can idle this. I try not to idle servos, but I just wanna make sure everything is connected. And I wanna make sure everything is tight. This, I want to be resisting movement if struck, but not so loose that it just whacks around, okay?
That would be good.
That would not be good. So 2.5 millimeters. And by the way, guys, I am not just blowing smoke here. I love scale helis. It is like, I want to fly it like a scale heli too. So don't give me a bunch of crap for not being a 3D helicopter pilot, Because the truth is, I can flip them upside down. I can do some basics. This thing's gonna do it all itself, okay? If you're looking for something that's gonna be more of like a sport 3D flight, that's probably not this Heli, but you may be able to do it. And I'm not sure, some of them you can't turn off. And I think this one is probably like that. Tight, way too tight, see? Now back it off. Too tight still. Back it off. Too tight, it might be close. And then back it off. Just doing like about a 1/16 of a turn each time. Pretty good. Now even them up. A little bit tighter. Okay, that feels super similar, okay? That might be a little bit tighter than it should be, but it'll be all right, okay? So remember, 2.5 millimeters. Just to be clear, there is a tool. I'm just gonna demonstrate that the tool does work. There is a 2.5 millimeters. Let's verify real quick. So here's your 2.5. Oops, wrong one. Sorry guys. I think it's this one. Okay, so as you can see, that tool does work. So they provide every tool you need to get started. Now that doesn't mean you have to use the provided tool. It is a nice tool. And it is nice that they provide that. A lot of manufacturers don't provide things like that. Also USB-A to USB-C in the event that you need to update this thing. That actually has a USB micro, not a USB-C. Okay, now that is probably for a trainer, but I don't know how to use that. Admittedly, there may be a way to hook up a buddy box. I don't know how to do it, okay? So we'll just leave that there. It looks like a high quality cable, but I can't really speak to it. I'm not gonna test it because I'm not here to test USB cables. I'm here to show helicopters. Now, let's talk about charge. This thing is at 57%, okay?
Still.
So that has not moved.
No.
Right?
It has not.
Why is it not starting? That seems weird to me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and throw caution to the wind and suggest that maybe something is not quite totally kosher there. So I'm gonna plug this in. They're balanced at least. I'm just gonna plug it in over here. I'm not saying that the thing wouldn't charge over a period of a couple of hours, but I'm just gonna go ahead and plug this in. I'm gonna start this one. You know what, let's do 2C. So let's do, well, I'll do 6. 6 amps would be 2C because this is 3,000 milliamp hours. Now on this charger, you can see we're at, see that cell was the one that was real low and it's brought it up. If it's got a problem, we're gonna demonstrate it shortly. But the truth is, anytime we get batteries that are off-putting, we try to share it because that is one of the value equations you get with a helicopter. Especially a helicopter like this because you're gonna get it with all the stuff you need to make it work, with the exception of AA's, okay? There have been some that have come with AA's. There's a protective screen cover here that I'm gonna pull off, and we're gonna go ahead and get those and come right back. Okay, so AA's, pretty simple stuff. If you're looking at AA's and there's some level of confusion, you're probably in the wrong hobby, but flat battery goes against the spring. And that's one thing, we don't mean to insult anybody's intelligence, but the truth is this hobby gets way deeper. There are buttons back here. I don't know what they do yet. This is throttle up, throttle down. It's actually gonna be like take off, go down, go up, okay? Yaw left, yaw right. So yawing, of course, is just like this pivoting on the flat axis. Tip forward, tip back, roll left, roll right, okay? So that's how you fly a helicopter. So this is actually the collective. So all those things together go up, change the pitch up, the helicopter goes up. This is a cyclic, which is gonna actually be like holding the stick and then the collective, or holding the stick and the collective. I think the collective is over here, but I don't know that for sure. I've never flown a real helicopter yet, but someday I'd like to do that. So there's one thing that the manual mentions, which we haven't talked about, and that's right here. See that plug? There is evidently a GPS plug that some of you may need to insert. Ours was inserted, okay? Now, I have a strong suspicion that this was tested because the way that it looks like it came out of the box, it looks like it was tested. If it's tested, fine. I have no problem with that. Testing equipment does not bother me. Returned equipment, I would like to at least know it was returned. Sample equipment, I'd like to know it was sampled in case something's wrong with it. So we'll find out. So also, This, if the tail rotor is damaged or has obvious cracks, please replace it in a timely manner. The plastic limit slot is stuck in the motor during replacement. You got to watch out for that. So what they're talking about is right there. You see how there's just like spots where the plastic could go, I guess? I don't know.
Okay.
That's kind of weird. So the stator of the motor, this thing, the outside, the bell housing, they're just concerned that stuff could get in there, I guess.
Oh.
That's what I'm gathering from that Chinese language. Okay, so if you've never seen one of these, there's a power button on both sides, kind of weird. I don't know if you have to hold both. Place all switches in their up position, up, 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 up. So now we're at home, normal, stop, normal. Very nice, okay. Also, these are something. I don't know what they do. Let's look. What do the sliders do? Please do not touch your transmitter menu. It has been factory set. The setting is changed incorrectly. You will not be able to start the helicopter. Okay. So left stick. Yeah, so that's what I just described.
I don't see any indication on those sliders.
Yeah, they don't even talk about the sliders. So I'm not sure if they're going to be necessarily used for anything. This is actually a pretty nice transmitter in the realm of ready to fly. I like this transmitter. Again, I am a Spectrum guy. You already know that from watching millions of Brian Phillips RC videos. I like using the NX10. Is it possible you could use the NX10? The answer is yes, but I'm not doing it in this video. And here's why. Because the Fly Sky, I believe this is Fly Sky, right? Isn't that what that's, FR Sky? What is this?
It says when you turn on the
right here.
transmitter too.
Yeah, I think this one is Fly Sky. But anyway, here's the receiver. All you would have to do is just basically take out this receiver, put your preferred receiver in there. Those are the antennas, okay, that are protected. Okay, this is a fiberglass fuselage, so it's not like it's carbon fiber. Okay, carbon fiber, you'd have to really watch out that your antennas were in. I'm not crazy about the fact that they're in parallel to one another. You didn't typically want to do diversity. So you want them at 90 degrees from each other, but that's the way it came out of the box. So we're gonna let it go. We're gonna just let it be so you guys can see. Oh, and then also, while you were off camera getting batteries, I turned up one of the charge rates to 12 amps just to demonstrate if it's gonna be a problem or not.
Okay.
So as you can tell, no heat,
not a problem.
no issues.
Not at all.
And you can see it's up to 3.9. So obviously this one's gonna need to charge for just a little bit longer. And so once it's charged, then we'll be ready to rock and roll with this heli. Now, does that mean that there's anything wrong with this charger? I kind of doubt it, but it is a little bit weird that it didn't seem to start. Could also be that this thing was a little bit below the expected voltage. So if you get one and you have another charger like this, suggestion would be to start charging. Now, if you need a charger and you don't want to spend big dollars to get this like S200 or this S2200 rather, then you could get into something like this, which is the S155. It's got the AC cord here. In fact, it's actually ironically the same AC cord we have here, which is kind of interesting. Okay. So this will do all the smart battery setup as well if you decide you want to use smart packs, which we of course usually push smart batteries because it's a Spectrum thing and we work with a lot of Spectrum branded products, okay, from Horizon Hobby. Okay, so if you guys hear us talking about batteries in this video and you think, why don't you use a Horizon battery? Just because we're gonna show you what this came with as it's provided in a ready to fly heli. Now, if you're concerned about compliance with remote ID, this is obviously greater than 250 grams. There is all sorts of stuff here where you can plug in your remote ID module if you decide to use that and be compliant. Now, of course, you can fly in a FRIA. You can be fully legal. That's between you and God. I don't care what you do. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt other people. Obey the rules if they're watching. I don't really care. It's up to you guys.
And if you have no idea what he just said, we have a whole video on it. We won't go into all of that.
Yeah, because things change and it's really a waste of time. Don't even worry about it. Just fly where there's a club and you won't even have to worry about it. But this is getting a little bit big to be flying around the neighborhood, in my opinion. It's gonna be loud, you'll know what's happening. It's not gonna be something you like sneak into the park or whatever. And also the thing is, I think people get a little bit concerned about helicopters and drones because they're really fast spinning blades and you don't wanna hurt somebody. Here's my thing. Anytime you start with a helicopter, vet the system, trust the system. Once it's working and you land, verify the components aren't broken. And when you verify that they're not broken, trust the system and just keep your distance, okay? Because parts are fast, they fly a long ways when they break, okay? That all being understood, this beautiful body is not gonna be very beautiful if something goes flying. And I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And we will share our experience, okay? Now, that being said, we have had very good experience in the past with our previous FlyWing helicopters, okay? They make a Huey and they make a, is the Squirrel also available?
Yep, I think the Squirrel would be
Squirrel's
in the same,
big though.
Is it not the same size class? Is it bigger?
I think it's bigger.
Wow.
It's a lot more money, I know that. But this thing is awesome. It's gonna be one of the more expensive helicopters we've ever done, and I'm very excited to see it. But at that point, when these are done, we're gonna start flying. Now, we don't have any more questions to answer that I can think of, because we can't really initiate anything inside. I like to initiate GPS flown helicopters outside because I don't want this causing a problem. That would be a ceiling and a roof, okay? And by the way, if you don't know, we have solar panels up here too. So if you've seen our videos talking about the pond and stuff like that, our pond is done. Everything but the dock is done. So it's pretty cool. And so you might see us flying around. And if you see the solar panels, just understand, you know, there's just like one more obstruction between us and GPS. But GPS is gonna generally need to have line of sight, notwithstanding a few clouds, in order to work. So if you try to initiate this, I'm gonna initiate it outside. I wanna give this thing the best opportunity at successful flight on the first go round. Sometimes we found that these lights are hard to see in the scale models because there's like a little light right here that will come on and it will have different demonstrable light colors. We've seen that on other FlyWing and other similar helicopter styles. And a lot of times what happens, there's like a beacon on top of the helicopter or on the back of the helicopter that you can see from a distance. This one is gonna be kind of hidden. So just resist the temptation to get too close, let the thing work, make sure you do the best you can, verify components are connected, verify linkages are connected, and then verify you have your props, or not your props so much, but your blades on, mounted correctly. You don't need to be an expert heli pilot to fly this thing because it's gonna fly mostly itself, okay? But also I don't want you to think that just because you can fly this, you can pick up and fly any other helicopter. And that's not the way it works. With a flight controller that's like this, it's basically doing all the work, okay? You're just giving it instructions on where you want it to go. And it will come back, it will go to altitude to return to home. So just keep all those things in mind before you start pressing the figure 8 button, okay? Because if you go to the figure 8 and it starts going in a figure 8 and it runs into the side of a building or it runs into a tree or it runs into like another aircraft, you're gonna feel pretty stupid and it's gonna be a very expensive move. Okay, so just keep all those things in mind. And remember, my skill set is more along fixed wing. So if you see me flying this and you think that's lame, O'Brien, you're not a good enough pilot to be reviewing these things, I'm sorry you feel that way because I love this thing. And I'm gonna keep reviewing helicopters because I am always learning and getting a little bit better incrementally. And you can do the exact same thing. So remember, you don't have to start as an expert to become an expert. That would be counterintuitive. There are a few people in this world that are very, very, very good when they start, but it's extremely uncommon. And some people will never progress to the expertise that you see at these events, okay? So just don't worry about it. Enjoy where you are now and try your best to enjoy the journey between where you are now and where you wanna go, okay? Because I can't encourage you enough with helicopters. It's very intimidating, probably a little bit more intimidating than planes. It depends on if you've got a helicopter background or if you've got an airplane background. But my experience has been, they're more intimidating because you have about a 3-second mistake and you have about 1,000 pieces. Whereas with an airplane, you have a 3-second mistake and you're like, oh, that maneuver didn't look as good as I wanted it to. Okay, so very different scenario. So keep all those things in mind. Hopefully what we've said struck a chord in a good way and you'll be able to understand a little bit better, make a great value judgment. Now, this is not a cheap helicopter, and you'll note that I'm not recommending it for everybody, not beginners. I'm just recommending it for people that have enough money to be able to throw away this helicopter if something goes sideways, okay? Now, the reason I say that is because helicopters are very quick to lose their lives. If you do everything right on this and the helicopter works great, you're gonna love it. It's gonna look gorgeous, and you're gonna love the way it flies. Because FlyWing does a pretty good job of getting these things set up. But I don't believe anything until I see it with my own 2 eyes. So that's why we do this on Brian Phillips RC. Okay, that is amazing. And I so desperately want it as a talking piece when we're done, because this is absolutely fantastic looking, and it's big. It's got a little bit of size to it. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering what size this is, I actually don't know what size class it is. Did it say what size it is?
It doesn't on the front.
It's the Bell 206, of course, is the model of the helicopter that it's modeled after, which is a real helicopter. I don't know if it's branded as such, if they've paid for those copyrights. But generally speaking, we don't measure, but this is normally kind of how they measure, is by blade length. So it's like 14 inches. So if 14 inches, that's got to be pretty close to about 385. Nah, that's like 15 and 3/8. So 14 inches would be super similar. Yeah, it's super similar to this Blade Eclipse, okay? In terms of size class. It'd be super similar to this 360, yeah, 14 inches. So yeah, so you're about 360 millimeters. 360 millimeters. Is that 360? Or is that 360 like 360, like 360 degrees? I should check myself on that because I don't actually know that. But generally the size class, like that's 385 millimeters. So 385 millimeters, that's definitely close to a meter right there. So that speaks to one blade, okay? So it could be a little bit confusing if you're not a heli guy, and I'm not, but I do a lot of RC, and you have probably already figured that out from watching our RC channel. All right, that being said, batteries are charging. Let's do one quick update on the batteries before we continue. I know some of you are cringing, thinking, why didn't you use the provided charger? Again, to reiterate, I want to fly tonight, and so I don't really care how fast they need to go. See this? Balance is maybe a little bit something left to be desired here, because as you can see, they're not balanced perfectly on that first cell. This one here, kind of the same thing, okay? Now, does that mean that that battery is a total turd? I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but I definitely think we're spoiled with smart packs, because smart packs have the battery management system in the smart chip. And that smart chip is gonna always actively balance the cells. So they're going to appear to be more balanced than they probably are in real life. This is a dumb pack. It's not gonna automatically balance. It's only very, very lukewarmish. It's not cold. But at 12 amps, it seems to be handling it like a champ, okay? So then this one here, and by the way, when you get an S2200, you can charge very fast and you can charge 2 at a time, which is pretty cool. All right, hopefully we answered all your questions. I gotta say, this thing is absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to fly it, and you guys are gonna be right with us. So you've already seen it fly or crash, whatever happens. We hope it was good and memorable. If you wanna help support Brian Phillips RC, the best thing you can do is smash the like button right now before you click away to another video, or go to brianphillipsrc.com and you can find the product you're looking for if you don't wanna buy something like this. Maybe you wanna buy a smaller heli, maybe you wanna buy a replacement part for a heli that you're watching a video about. By the way, if you ever need to do that, click on the links in the video description below, and there's almost always parts available from the brands and manufacturers that we work with. Just follow the link like you were gonna buy the product, scroll down, and there's usually a link to parts right there, okay? Same is true for a manual. So if you wanna try to get this manual so you can get that in front of you, you can go ahead and do that as well by following the links. Now, we're not trying to trick anybody. Obviously, we're commissioned when we sell these things, but we're totally truthful. We don't care what product you buy as long as you're buying something RC that you love, okay? We would rather you buy a cheaper product that you love than a more expensive product that you hate, or a more expensive product that you crash, because here at the end of the day, we need you guys flying. We need to improve our circumstances in this hobby, meaning we need more people doing it. We need more people hooked like I am, so that we can have more people buying amazing products, because that's gonna drive down the prices and it's gonna drive up the quality, because a bigger pool of investment will drive better performance in our market, which is, there are a million things you can do that are easier than building helicopters, airplanes, quads, VTOLs to make a buck. So remember, at the end of the day, we want to support the manufacturers that are making the things we want. We also want to support the manufacturers in making things that turn out well and own up to it when they don't, okay? So we're hoping that this is gonna work as good as we want it to, because this thing is absolutely fantastic looking. All right, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. You can support us with YouTube Super Thanks, YouTube members if you wanna do monthly support, Patreon for monthly support, and then PayPal for one-time donations. But we still firmly believe, and we say this every video, usually 2, 3, 4, 5 times, when you buy a helicopter, plane, VTOL, whatever it happens to be, leaf blower, you support us. So just buy what you're gonna buy anyway. You'll support us when you follow the links, but you do have to follow the links, okay? If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll do our best to answer them. And hopefully this video will answer all of the questions you had about the Bell 206 scale helicopter from FlyWing. And we are super excited. So stay tuned. There's so much more from Brian Phillips, RC, right around the corner. Come back for more, and thanks for watching.